This week on Previews World Weekly, we discuss the hype for the She-Hulk series. Jason Aaron brings The End of the World to Boom Studios, and we ask you guys to give us your reading recs. It's all happening right now on Previews World Weekly.
Oh, okay. What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day.
We've definitely never done this before.
Never. I just wanted to be as awkward as humanly possible. It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time. It's time for Previews World Weekly. I am one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
It's about damn time. I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood, a.k.a. the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day.
A.k.a. Lizzo. Like, what is
In a minute, I'm gonna need that.
Oh. Whoa.
Okay, Johnny.
Johnny. I don't know. Wow.
Doing a lot.
All right, that's okay. Never mind. All right. How's it going, Ashton?
Great. I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
I think Johnny just shut the show down. I think we should just go home now.
I know. How are we going to top that?
I don't know. We won't. You know, I guess we might as well just go through the motions of the normal show.
Here.
Things we saw this week. I don't know if you saw anything particularly cool this week, but...
I did. I saw the Free Comic Book Day Facebook page, which if you're not following it, you should be.
Good deal. Thank you very much for getting us back on track. All right, I have a question for you, Ashton, right?
I'm ready.
So I saw The Day Shift, right? Mm-hmm. It's a Jamie Foxx movie on Netflix. Vampires in sunlight. Now, this is also, I'm going to open this up to the chat as well, because I feel like this is very much an answer somewhere out there for me on this. Is it their skin that is sensitive to the sun, right? Or is it their entire being? So, like, even if their clothes, like we've seen shows where like their clothes disappear if like they're exposed to sun, right? You know, because they do this thing on The Day Shift, right? It like they did this in Blade too, actually, where if a vampire is wearing like sunscreen or motorcycle gear or even holding an umbrella, right? They can go out into the sunlight. And I kind of feel like that I don't know, I've always took issue with that. Like, I feel like that kind of breaks the concept a little bit of a vampire.
I'm not buying that. First of all, a vampire in sunscreen is goofy. Why?
I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
I was always under the implication that it was their skin.
Right, yeah.
And that there was some sort of reaction there that wasn't preventable, right? Like having a parasol or lubed up in like SPF 100 wasn't going to fix your problem. Right. Like you're still a vampire.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. This might be a bad benchmark, but like the way I always kind of use True Blood as my benchmark for like what is reasonable vampire behavior, because they seem to check a lot of the boxes of what we traditionally associate with vampires. So that seems like a good place to circle back to. And they could never be in the sun. Eric Northman wore motorcycle gear. That didn't fix his problem.
Well, see, because I've only seen a little bit of True Blood, and I've always seen the weird sexual ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like
was there a lot of
60% of the show.
Okay, all right. I like every time I saw one, I was just like, okay, I guess this show is just like this all the time. But like, they're in the South, right?
Yeah, they're in
So I mean,
New
it's
Orleans.
not like it's not like they're hiding from the sun 24/7, but they only come out at night.
Right.
So how did they? How did they get around the sunlight thing?
There was very little activity taking place during the day.
They just didn't come out during the day. Okay,
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just always thought that was odd. And they did something like that in The Day Shift. Outside of that, which kind of made my brain break a little bit, the movie was actually pretty cool.
I have a question for you about this movie based on the trailer, because it was not clear.
Right.
Is Snoop Dogg playing himself?
Oh, yeah, always. When has Snoop Dogg not played himself? In Old School, he's playing himself. I can't think of any other Snoop Dogg movies. I know he's been in a bunch of movies, but yeah, like he's always playing himself. And yeah,
G-O-double-G, okay.
It's actually, in a weird way, it's like the neon colored version of Blade.
Okay.
Because Blade's like they're all like in some city at night and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. This is very much in California.
Okay.
And Jamie Foxx's character is like a pool cleaner who's also a vampire hunter. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's actually, they do some really cool, interesting things with it. Like the opening sequence was actually money. Like
Okay.
I legit you mentioned, we were talking about this off camera. Like you mentioned that the trailer was a little goofy.
Yeah.
But the second trailer, I think, is a better representation of the movie itself. So if you get a chance, watch the second trailer, which is the one that's on Netflix itself.
Okay.
It was actually pretty cool. I thought it was actually pretty awesome. Also, if you're watching this on Wednesday, then She-Hulk is dropping tomorrow on Disney Plus, right? Johnny's excited. You don't have to fake it, Ashton.
I'm excited that you guys are excited.
Okay, well, that's very kind. I appreciate it.
Look, I'm here for female superheroes. I am literally always on board for female heroes of any kind. I'm just not pressed about it, and that's largely just a symptom of like being at my limit where Marvel content is concerned.
Fair. I get that. I totally understand it. I love this for a lot of reasons. I'm excited about this for a lot of reasons. I'm surprising myself with how excited I am for this.
Oh, interesting.
But one of the main reasons is I love being right.
Oh, that is a good reason to be excited.
Because a couple of weeks ago, I was on this show and I said, if they don't put Daredevil on this show, because she's an attorney and so is Daredevil, and there's some sort of engagement between those two, like I will be sorely disappointed. And then like literally, I think it was like 2 weeks later, they showed another trailer with her and Daredevil in it.
Oh, sweet.
And also the red and yellow costume, which I never thought I'd see on camera, because that's the old school Daredevil costume.
Okay.
But yeah, like I just think it's a cool concept, and I don't know, Johnny, what are your thoughts here? Like, are you on board with this?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like I'm excited that they're going the route of including her fourth wall breaking into the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I know that she was known to do that during the John Byrne era of Sensational She-Hulk. So I'm also hearing rumors that she will actually do fourth wall breaks, like talking directly to Kevin Feige.
Oh, that's good. That's
So
really
I'm
good.
like, that's
okay.
spot on. That's brilliant.
right.
I don't know if the rumors are true, but just the concept of that alone is just pure brilliance. I love it. So.
Yeah, no, that's a big part of the character, like for the record, and like it's an element. Not every writer does it, but it's something that kind of has come to define her, because, upon her initial introduction, she was kind of just, female Hulk, you know, and that was kind of like, and then a few years later, John Byrne did a series, and he did all this fourth wall breaking.
That's cool.
And it predates Deadpool, right?
Sure.
And I think that's another reason I'm excited about this, because there's a lot of other characters that have been getting play, doing things that I won't say that She-Hulk invented necessarily, but doing things that this character would benefit from in a live action presentation. Like, and one of them is Deadpool, right?
Right.
I also kind of have to, I didn't love Captain Marvel, but it was also great. But I'm glad to see that a really strong character is coming into the Marvel universe that is not Captain Marvel, that has her own kind of like thing going on. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just love this, and I hope it's really good, and I'm looking forward to it. And again, I'm surprised myself by how much I'm enjoying. I'm looking forward to it.
We do have a couple comments here.
Oh yeah, let's do some comments.
I'm not able to bring them up on screen right now. We're having a little issue with that. But Annie Fox is checking in. She says, "Hi guys, this is early for me, my work from home day." So Annie, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Annie.
Annie's saying another strong female character. So yes. DJ Young on YouTube is saying the Law and Order mock trailer is hilarious.
Yes, right. There's a fake
boy.
She-Hulk trailer that's like Law and Order style.
Oh God.
Yeah, which is also great. So.
Yeah, it's like I go green so you can get green.
That's such.
So you like that? You like that, right?
That's such good marketing.
That's good.
I love the fact that they're taking this like an Ally McBeal route or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that was like, I think that was always the initial pitches. Like, you could literally do Ally McBeal and it would be She-Hulk. Like, they're very much, in a lot of ways, a very similar concept. A lot of fourth wall breaking, attorney character, like, comedy elements through and through. A lot of weird, random, quirky characters coming in and out of the law firm. It's just a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah.
we probably dated ourselves mentioning Ally McBeal, by the way, Johnny, but that's okay. All right. Let's talk more comics. How about that? All right, it is Wednesday. It is New Comic Book Day. So Ash and I are going to give you our picks, and then we're going to show you some of the premiere titles available this week. Let's go. All right, I got two this week.
Okay.
So because I'm going to eat up some time here, I'm going to try to be very, very succinct about this. But
Oh, you're going first.
I'm going to go first.
I was gonna make us do nose goes, but I don't even have to do that.
Okay. Well, so first up, Entropy is a new series by Heavy Metal. I did an interview that I'll talk about later with writer Christopher Priest. I want to say like a while ago, Heavy Metal said they were going to explore the universe established in the 1980s film. And something they've been kind of incapable of doing for legal reasons. I guess the characters introduced in that movie are owned by maybe the studio or something like that.
Okay,
I'm not
that would
quite
make
sure,
sense.
but they weren't able to ever like translate that directly to public to a print format.
Okay.
But Entropy is like the first official advancement of the idea of bringing those characters from the movies and also the universe from the movies and telling a larger story with it finally. So it's kind of a long time coming for a lot of things. They had Tarna, of course, who was like the poster child for heavy metal, right? And now you have Entropy, which introduces the first supervillain of the universe. And also it's written by Christopher Priest, like I mentioned, which, Christopher Priest, he has a real sharp, biting style, which I tend to gravitate towards with a lot of my comic book writers. I've always appreciated. Of course, he's the guy who reinvented Black Panther. He's had great runs on Deathstroke and Batman and Justice League and stuff like that. And the main character is kind of like a Silver Surfer character. So he's kind of a herald for this force of nature. And so so that force of nature kind of takes us into the larger universe itself on top of everything else. Cool concept, new, absolutely adult sci-fi universe to get into.
Okay.
Which is also kind of nice and different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board. I think it's just, I'm definitely curious about this. They've got the right creative team for it. And yeah, it's one of those things that's, like I said, it's been a long time coming. I know heavy metal fans have been asking for that for a long time, so why the heck not?
Yeah.
The other book, 20th Century Men, from Image is also out this week.
Okay.
And this is really cool, and I actually meant to bring a copy of it downstairs, but the idea here is that, like, it's sort of like a Watchmen Ultimates type of thing where they're taking the concept of the superhero and kind of dragging it through the political discourse.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, there was a period where there was too many of those things at one point in time,
sure.
right? But I feel like at this point in time, I'm actually comfortable with the idea of revisiting this, and seeing what someone can do that mix it up. So,
Right.
I grabbed a copy today. Definitely check it out. It looks cool. Like, I think that was a big thing too. Like, this guy who's in a mech suit, it also promises like a lot of overt sci-fi elements, science fiction elements, a lot of science gone mad, and all that
I love
stuff.
that.
So there's like a good mix of stuff. So yeah, definitely check that out. 20th Century Men and Entropy available this week. Also, Shirtless Bear Fighter is back.
I'm sorry, what?
Shirtless Bear Fighter.
Wait, did you pick this before?
I picked it a long time ago.
Okay, because I remember you picking it, and I think I had the same reaction the first time you said it.
Say what?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's ridiculous, and it is exactly how it sounds.
Okay.
And it's also from Image Comics. It's out this week. I just realized that before I walked down here to do the show, so I just want to point that out. Anyway.
I can't be trusted.
Ashton, what is your pick this week?
My pick this week is Hard Eyes #1. This is one of those moments for me where a comic has been able to unlock something I didn't know I was terrified of.
Oh, really?
Which
Okay.
is monsters that feast on your sanity.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That is kind of terrifying, isn't it?
That is my literal nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, the concept of just, like, slowly going insane is, something you're always afraid of. But the concept of a monster can just, like, wrap itself around your head and just, like, suck your sanity out of your
Right,
body,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's just your dunzo, and you're just running through the streets like a nutcase.
Yeah.
Why have I never thought of that?
That's actually pretty, that's actually really
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
So that's what this is, and I'm thrilled. It's also a new #1, so it's a great jumping on point, obviously, if you're looking to start something out. And the cover art, if that is what the monster looks like, that Sarlacc-looking thing,
It does like a star.
but like scaled down for size so it can like suck on your head,
Yeah.
that would make me incredibly nervous. And of course, there's like an undercurrent of like a character story here, which
Right,
of course
right.
I appreciate. I love character-driven stories, and it's also a future dystopia, which I love. So this is
Okay.
everything I like bundled up into
Interesting.
one.
It's like the embodiment of, like, I don't know, Alzheimer's or dementia or something like
Right.
that. That's actually, yeah. I mean, that's actually a real fear of mine. So I definitely understand that. Like, that's actually really interesting. Okay. I might actually have to check that out. And I saw that it was Dennis Hopeless, who actually has done some really cool stuff with Marvel and Image in the past.
Nice.
So, yeah, actually worth checking out. All right, so...
More comments.
More comments? All right, let's do
More
it. Let's start with
comments.
the
We have Annie Fox saying, "You got me all worked up." I don't know what that's
Not sure what that's in reference to, but you're welcome.
All right.
And then we have JRR24 saying bonjour from Louisiana.
All right, what's up?
I don't know what accent that was, but
Bonjour.
It was like a half commit to the French accent.
Right. Bonjour, mon ami. That's all I got. That's literally all I got.
We're offensive.
We're offensive. Okay, that's all right. If we don't do something kind of borderline offensive every couple months,
Every episode.
is it really Previews World Weekly?
Right.
I'm just saying.
If we're not trying to find where the line is, have we done it correctly?
There's the line. We'll cross it.
I think it's because the monsters already sucked out our sanity.
I mean, there's also that. That's
Damn
a
it.
very good point. Yeah, we already lost. It's over with. All right, let's Natasha, right? Is that what we're doing? Okay, yeah. So Natasha's here with the Previews toy chest. She's going to show you what action figures, collectibles, etc. are available at your local comic shop. When we come back, we'll talk about something. I just lost my outline.
So organized.
It's okay.
Natasha here, and I want to wish my husband a happy anniversary. And now I'm going to give you a look at some of the new toys and collectibles in stores today. Here's your Previews toy chest for the week of August 17th, 2022. Want to see more? Then check out my new show, DST Unboxed, where I show you what awesome new collectibles are on their way to your local comic shop. Check it out at youtube.com/collectdst. As for me, I'll see you back here next week.
All right, cool. And you can get Natasha and Previews toy chest. You can't get Natasha, I guess. You get the Previews toy chest. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. You get the Previews toy chest every single week on our feed. Previews
God.
World's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. All I was going to say is Natasha. Natasha's popular. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, okay. Yes, Natasha is popular.
And as soon as I said that, I was like, I shouldn't have said it that way. I should have said it a different way. So she's good people.
She is good people.
And people on the internet are rude sometimes.
Facts.
Rude in their appreciation of Natasha. How about that?
There we go.
There you go.
We've arrived.
We've arrived. All right, we're gonna stop there. Let's talk about the news. You think you're ready for that, Ashton?
Oh, I'm very excited for this.
Okay. All right, let's do it. News time. You know, I just want to point out, I was definitely drinking coffee. And then Johnny breaks out with the creepy Paperboy Family Guy voice. Thank you, Johnny. Oh, my God. In case you didn't notice, this episode is very much booked by coffee. All right, what's in the
That
news?
is the sound of the monsters that will suck my sanity out. They'll talk just like that.
That is terrifying. That is actually terrifying.
I hate it.
Oh, God. Anyway, what's going on in the world of comics and general geekdom?
Some appropriately voiced news. The Harvey Awards, so last week on Thursday the 11th, the Harvey Awards, the nominees, I should say, for the Harvey Awards were announced. So the nominees are selected by a curated committee of diverse industry voices, so that includes creators, publishing professionals, retailers, educators, and librarians. So it's a really fair mix of kind of all of the different avenues that create and then also sell or make comic books available to the community. And then voting will be done by creator and industry professionals who have had a professional badge or an Artist Alley badge at any Repop show in the last several years, so 2016 to 2022. And the full list is available online at harveyawards.com. I won't read it all to you because it's kind of, a long list.
It is.
But I'm worried about me, as usual, so I have to point out that Heartstopper is nominated for Best Adaptation from Comic Book or Graphic Novel.
nice.
I'm thrilled.
Okay.
If you guys have been watching this show for any amount of time, this is my thing. I love Heartstopper. Talk about it endlessly. So I am incredibly excited for Alice Oseman.
I didn't realize that they did that, actually. I didn't realize that they did Best Adaptation from a comic book or graphic novel. But yeah, I'm looking at this. Shang-Chi, no. Peacemaker, I know people like Peacemaker. Paris
Paper
13th.
Girls.
Never even heard of Paris 13th District. Paper Girls. I've heard some mixed things about that. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
Me neither.
What else is up there, Johnny?
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Miss Marvel. I think I did finish that actually. Mine MGMT. I actually forgot that they. Oh, it's a board game. That's interesting. Okay, this is a weird collection of things. Yeah.
Vote for Heartstopper.
Vote for Heartstopper, guys. I do see the Batman that's on there. I really do love the Batman.
The Batman was great.
It was good.
I'm not gonna lie, it was great.
It's probably one of my, if not the favorite Batman live action thing. So,
Ooh.
I don't know, but big question here. I mean, they still got one more year. I'm not actively trolling the Eisners on my Twitter feed right now because I want them to nominate Deadly Class.
Oh yeah, you were on that. We talked
Yeah.
about the Eisners a few weeks ago, and you were mad about it then.
Because Deadly Class has never been nominated, and I swear, I'm not exaggerating here. It is like a tour de force. It is comics made in their best possible way.
Do you feel like it took a hit by getting adapted?
To a TV show?
Not successfully.
I mean that happens so often in comics that I don't think that's the issue.
Okay.
I just think that it maybe just kind of fell to the wayside because of any number of things. But yeah, like Harvey Awards 2023. This is the last year for Deadly Class. You got to do it right. You got to nominate them at least. I think they should win everything, but I know that's not realistic.
Everything.
They should win everything, but that's not realistic. Anyway, what else is going on in the news, Ashton?
It is the end of the world as we know it. There's been a lot of singing on this episode.
Yeah. What is going on? A little Lizzo?
It's a musical episode of Previous World Weekly.
Okay.
All right, so Boom Studios has announced an epic post-apocalyptic series from Jason Aaron called Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. And this series is lobbed up to be his most ambitious creator-owned series to date. He'll be partnering with 3 unique artistic teams to take on his vision of the world, the end of the world, I should say. And he's aiming for something that is both brutal and nostalgic. So I think there's a lot of interesting possibility with that. So to give you guys kind of the synopsis of what you get here, Maceo and Mezzi have never met anyone like each other, and they'll need all the help they can get to survive a planet ravaged by emotional catastrophe. This epic trilogy, each issue overflowing with 30 story pages, spans a lifetime as the dark mysteries of a ruined world and their own stark differences tear at the threads holding Maceo and Mezzi together. Sounds right up my alley.
Right. No, I love that cover, by the way. I was like, that cover's great. And I was like, well, it's Mike Del Mundo. I see. But yeah, that's a great cover. I love
gas
that.
masks.
The gas mask kissing on the I guess that's the Paris, was it the canal or whatever? Maybe, I don't know. But
It could have been Venice.
it could
I
have been
wasn't
Venice,
looking.
yeah. I'm sorry, that's Venice. I don't know anything about Europe apparently. But anyway.
Just like bad French accents.
Bad
and
French accent. Oh man, that's just gonna offend everybody today. That's all right.
So quickly to wrap that up, that'll be available in November of this year.
Okay, cool. Actually looking forward to that. I mean, look, Jason Aaron's a real one. He's been doing some great stuff.
He's
so,
beloved.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a little, we talked about this a little bit when we talked about Sandman last week, right? I'm a little slow on the Neil Gaiman party. I haven't read a lot of his stuff, admittedly, right?
Oh, you should read Coraline.
Actually, I've read Coraline.
I love Coraline.
That's the one I've read.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
Coraline. I've read his 2-parter Detective Comics, and I read the first trade of Sandman.
Okay.
And I think that's it. I believe that might be it. Oh, and some 2000 AD short stories he did.
Okay.
But truthfully, I've probably read more of his tweets than I've read his comics.
He is on Twitter.
He's on Twitter.
Him and Mark Hamill really just
him and Mark
baby on
Hamill
Twitter.
too. But I'll give them both. I'll give them both credit. Now, I was actually going to say this about Just Game, but since you mentioned Mark Hamill, there is a precision to how they tweet.
Oh yes.
It is actually really well done.
Savage takedowns.
Right, savage takedowns, but it's also not brutal. It's just sort of no, that's not how this works.
It's very informed.
Actually, speaking of Mark Hamill, you know what it's like? It's like Obi-Wan with the stormtroopers. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, very calm,
Very calm.
I know what I'm talking about.
Right. That's kind of how
that's
how they tweet.
Yeah.
So there were initial grumblings, of course, about woke casting for Sandman, right? And those grumblings actually noticed that legit stopped once the show came out.
Oh, really?
It just came to a complete halt, I've noticed. And so I got to say, I watched the first episode, and the show is very sharp. Very, very sharp. And but Gaiman has, of course, been on Twitter, just kind of being like basically Jedi mind tricking.
That's what I want to
mind
hear.
tricking everybody. So someone had asked, as a writer, what's it like when a backlash like this happens to Gaiman? And Gaiman said it's not a backlash. For the record, Neil Gaiman is the creator of Sandman, the co-creator of Sandman. It's not a backlash when someone grumbles about Sandman being woke and they get 10 likes, and I point out that they're being idiots and get 60,000 likes. That's
a great point.
That is kind of brutal, actually.
That's a little brutal.
Likes, there isn't a backlash going on. There are a few people grumbling performatively on Twitter and thousands of people waiting for Friday, which the show came out last Friday, right, Johnny?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so...
No, not this past Friday, the Friday before.
The Friday before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because this is July 31st. So, I think the performative part is key.
Right, because what do you get out of complaining on Twitter other than other people see you complaining?
Right. It's all for clicks. It's all for likes. And, I just really appreciated him just pointing that out.
Yeah.
Again, the precision. And it actually reminded me of something that I know you probably also remember this pretty well. Force Awakens, right? I don't know if you remember, there was a point in time right before Force Awakens came out where there was this again, grumblings. There was this big hubbub online about people boycotting the movie because there was a black stormtrooper in it.
Oh, God.
Or a black Jedi. We didn't know at the time.
I
So it was just
unfortunately do remember that.
Right? But, I don't know if you also remember this, because I think some people forget this. Ultimately, the boycott was two people on some random corner of Twitter, right? The two people got thousands of people arguing with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that kind of underlines a lot of the conversations about these sort of things that we have online. So I just really appreciated Gaiman just being like, not the George you're looking for.
Yeah, you can, as long as you're the loudest voice saying the most ridiculous thing, it really doesn't matter how many people actually agree with you, because you're going to stir the pot.
Exactly. And that's the point, right? Again, performative. It's 100% performative. So I just thought that was cool, and that was something that happened fairly recently that we want to just kind of slap onto the end of this news segment.
Yeah.
So,
Troy, you know who's not complaining?
who's not complaining?
Our good friend Ubaldo.
Oh.
Because I wanted to point this out. He says, catching up on episode 201, and previews will love the new look.
Yeah, no, I did see that the other day, actually. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, Baldo.
And speaking of which, we do actually have a few more comments.
Although I will say, Baldo, next time you screen grab me, make sure I'm not making duck faces.
There's not a lot to pick from. I'm making a dumb face too, but I appreciate the love. That's more what I'm worried about.
There you go.
Let's see. Annie Fox was saying, sorry, I was late with the last comment. Oops, you know what? Worked up about She-Hulk.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool,
She-Hulk.
cool.
Okay, gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, let me fix the comments here real quick.
Should we just move on, Johnny?
No, we're gonna fix this right now.
Fix it
Worked
in
up
no time.
there it is.
Okay.
Ubaldo's like, nice, Johnny. He likes my news intro.
Okay, cool.
The all musical episode. Ubaldo is saying we need to have a karaoke episode.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
That will be painful for you guys.
Actually, what's funny? This is totally kind of inside, I guess, but Vegas. You remember the karaoke thing we did?
Yes, I sang Carmen Chameleon by
That's
the
what it
Culture
was.
Club.
I was trying to remember what it was. That's what it was. And I hid in the corner because I was like, you're not getting me out there at all. No way.
I tried so hard
She
to
did.
get Troy sing karaoke with me, and he blew me off.
I did. I was just like, I went ahead. And it's funny. I went ahead, and then I ended up being at the front table of the karaoke thing.
Yeah.
And then of course Steve Geppi sits right next to me. And he's like, what are you doing over here? I'm like, I didn't even try to lie. I'm hiding.
Did you say that to him?
I told him. I was like, I'm hiding. They're trying to get me to sing karaoke, and I don't want to do it. So anyway.
And then lastly, we have Annie also commenting saying, by the way, Troy, I'm really enjoying Starhenge.
Good.
Thanks for the tip.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Very imaginative, very crazy, cool artwork. Issue 2 is out now, and I think issue 3 is actually probably next week, I believe.
Sweet.
So yeah, Liam Sharp, always good. All right, this looks nuts. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Survival Street dropped last week.
Okay.
Johnny caught this after last week's show, and if I had noticed this, if I had been paying attention properly, I probably would have picked it up and picked it for last week's show. But yeah, check out the trailer, and we come back, we'll tell you a little bit more about it. No, it's nuts.
Ooh.
It's borderline Mad Max, but like with Sesame Street characters.
Oh, there's a video game kind of like that.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, not the Mad Max part,
Okay.
but it's like an escape from Sesame Street.
Oh, you know what there
game.
is? Damn, what is that called?
To like shoot the characters with
That's
your
right.
letter gun.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. If you guys know in the chat what that is,
Yeah,
tell us the
please.
name because I know exactly what you're talking about. I forgot about that. That's funny. But no, this looks crazy. It's actually from a writer who's done stuff on Rick and Morty, like for the Rick and Morty comics for Only Press.
Okay.
So as you can imagine,
That makes
it's
sense.
going to get pretty out there.
That checks out.
But that's available now from Dark Horse Comics. I'm going to pick up issue 1 now. Now that I've been put onto it by Johnny, because I'm just very curious about how wild and crazy this is going to be. So,
Wild and
yeah, absolutely, wild and crazy. Social Swamp time, I believe, right? Yeah, all right. Let's jump into this. One was an easy one. This is just a mutual admiration one. So let's do it. Social Swamp.
Okay, since we've been on a bender of stirring the pot, we thought we would take it easy this week and just discuss comics and the comics we like. And apparently, I didn't know this because I don't follow comics on YouTube, but they're awful, which is rude and inaccurate.
Yeah, right. That's the whole thing.
So because that is a horribly inaccurate, spicy take, we asked you guys to tell us what comics you're reading that you like and that you're thrilled about. So let's see what you guys said. 100% Comics said, I'm going through a reread of Godland right now.
Oh, nice. That's the Donny Cates one, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Empire Comics S. Buffalo. I love that. Some of the most popular among our customers are Grimm. What is HOS?
House of Slaughter.
House of Slaughter.
I'm
Oh, I
assuming
should have
House of
known that.
Slaughter, yeah.
Okay, House of Slaughter. 8 Billion Genies. 8 Billion Genies
your pick.
is super popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 Billion Genies is awesome. Makes me nervous. Daredevil, Hulk, Batman, Sandman, and everything Star Wars.
Everything Star Wars. That's a lot of Star
Facts.
Wars.
Stay broke, LOL. Billy the Kid from Blue Juice Comics is a must-read.
Okay. Not sure what the rabbit face is for, but all right.
Nah, me neither. Cover Price Comics says Noctera, Axe Event, Red, Sonja, Mirka Andolfo. Mirka Andolfo is having a moment.
Yeah. She's
Silver
having a
Coin.
few moments.
Yes. Oh, and Nyx. I remember when Unnatural came out a few years ago, and I was reading that, and then I got to a point where I was like, I think I can't be reading this anymore.
Why not? Was it inappropriate? Or?
Sexy Wolf.
Oh,
The sexy white wolf was
Okay.
being
All right.
sexy.
Okay. I mean, you know what? It's not for everybody, right? Furries. Go figure. I don't tell you.
If you're furry, good for you. I started a debate in the office one time. Remember when I was asking people what their gateway furry was?
Oh my God, what was it? Now I'm trying to think of because I didn't of course I didn't want to answer the question, but then you opened it up to the whole room.
Yes.
This is what we do at work, guys. Oh God. I can't remember. I try to remember. I had one too, and I told you what I think. I told you what I thought people's general gateway furry was.
Was it Sonic? It's generally Sonic.
It was
yeah,
Sonic.
Sonic
It
or
was
Crash.
Sonic. That's right. Sonic or Crash.
Yeah.
Maybe if we moved it up a little bit, Pokemon. I imagine that's also on that list as well. So let's see. We've offended Europeans.
Oh, God.
Specifically the
Yeah,
French.
specifically the
Furries.
French, yeah.
All right. What else we got, John?
Lots of bad singing.
Lots of bad singing. We've offended Lizzo.
Yeah.
The Culture Club. What else we got?
Tyler. I'm okay. Tyler Hambook said, I'll be reading Rest in Peace, which is for sale in the current previews. Sorry, that was such a shameless self-promo. We're here
I
for
mean, you know what?
shameless self-promo.
This whole show is a seamless
It
shameless
is.
self-promotion.
Get your
That's
plug.
all. Get your plugs in. What else we got?
Tyler says, I just finished Oblivion Song in trade paperback and loved the ending. Also, I've been enjoying Superman, Son of Kal-El. I think that between the art and the interesting take on Superman in an ever-changing social climate, it is the best book I am reading.
Nice.
Annie Fox says, believe it or not, I'm really enjoying the La Muerta art from Coffin Comics. Joel Gomez is awesome. He's also very cute. Shout out Joel Gomez, apparently.
So we know what the criteria is for Annie.
Ubaldo says, I'm reading your traditional Batman, Star Wars related, etc., but my newest are Cover the Death in Lime. Hey, me too. And Starhenge, apparently Troy too. Thanks for the recommendations.
All right, yeah. Look, we get one each. Okay.
Right? Wow, we're good at this. El Gran Lobo. Oh no.
Oh god.
I'm offending
Paprika
probably the
basilisk?
Spanish.
Basilisk? Oh.
Okay, I'm reading Paprika, Basilisk. I was still trying to read the name of the person that left this comment. Paprika, Basilisk, Geiger, The Nice House on the Lake, which was, I think, wasn't that nominated for an Eisner?
I think it was actually, yeah. More.
HGB Fly Fishing says Sweetwater, Daredevil, Punisher, 1 Billion Genies, I think it's 8, Thor, Bloodstained Teeth, Undiscovered Country. I'm so behind on Undiscovered Country, I'm disappointed in myself.
Oh, man.
7 Sons and many more. I think I'm 6 issues behind in Undiscovered
That's not
Country.
bad. That's not too bad.
It's like a trade.
Yeah.
I really don't want to trade weight though because
What?
it's gonna be so long until the trade comes out.
That's true. And also we get image books for free.
Right.
Sorry, spoiler alert. Yeah, what else we
Oh,
got?
we are really dragging this
It's
out.
okay.
Kyoshi Prime. Oh, are you a fan of Avatar? Comics ignite the spark of creativity and improves mental health.
CC.
Facts.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess that was just an add-on to whatever their pick was.
I mean, it seems factual.
Seems factual.
I just like the statement in general.
It was a good
Yeah.
one. I appreciate that. I like that. Yeah, I'm not going to go through my entire list of things. I'm just going to show you guys what I'm reading, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And also, my carpet is ugly. But other than
All right.
Is that really the color of your carpet? I honestly thought that the white balance was off in that picture.
I mean, the white balance is off, but I also just don't like that carpet.
Okay.
Like it's like when we were doing the show back in at home. That's the part you don't see.
Oh. Are your lights pink? Why is it pink?
Oh well, I do have the
Google
Google
lights.
lights.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Right. But of course, Deadly Class. All this stuff I'm big into. Actually, one of the reasons I even asked this question was because, I just kind of, every couple of months I decide, let me go. Actually, every couple of weeks I decide, let me go on YouTube and see what people are talking about in terms of comics, right? And I mean, of course, you get like cool stuff, like you'll get Variant Comics and Dope Spill, and you get guys like Comics Historian, et cetera, et cetera. But then there's like this laundry list of YouTube personalities who are just talking about how comics are awful now. And you'll kind of see this consistent thread with them where they like...
Yeah, I'm interested in this part in particular because I was not aware this was even a discourse that was taking place.
Right. Well, I mean, you'll kind of see a commonality, right? Which is they all preferred comics from the 90s.
Okay.
Which, look, I grew up on comics from the 90s. Look, outside of the Rob Liefeld and Tom McFarlane and Clarkson stuff, which I also very much enjoyed, there was stuff like Sin City and 300 and Hellboy that also came out in the 90s. So, it's a lot of diversification going on there at that time, right?
Okay.
But that is a consistent thing that I see is like, comics were better in the 90s. And I don't know, like after seeing like about 5 or 6 videos from different channels saying this over and over again, I was like, are you reading comics?
Yeah, my question was going to be, have any of them identified what it is that made comics from the 90s better? Like,
well, I mean,
what seems to be the issue? Like, you can't, I mean, you're welcome to sit on YouTube and be like, comics from the 90s were better and the comics coming out now suck. Like, sure, you're entitled to say that, but I would be more interested to hear someone say that if they had a legitimate reason for thinking that.
Well, it always falls into the same category of, this is too woke, and is the stuff that Neil Gaiman was talking about earlier, you know what I mean? It's always that same thing. It's like, I don't want politics in X-Men. It's like X-Men have always been political guys.
I was about to say that,
like, come on, guys.
Isn't that Superman's whole thing? Like,
yeah, right, but it's just like kind of like the steady stream of like the same thing. I'll be honest with you, at this point, it just sounds like hating. That's really what it sounds like to me. Like I just given the amount of books I'm actively reading right now, right? And some of them I'm like you, I'll be like 6 issues behind. Some of them are series that ended like late last year, and I'm just getting caught up to right now. But there's just so many good stuff out there. There's also just way too many comics coming out in any given time for you to be like, comics suck.
How? Right.
Even if it's just superhero stuff,
It's a bad blanket statement.
which I think is also part of it. It's like they look at the slate of superhero books based off of whatever it is. Like they're like, Wolverine is a girl now or something like that. You know what I mean? And ignoring the fact that Wolverine also has his own comic.
Right.
But it's just a lot of that, and it's gotten old. Like a part of me sort of like, it's not 2014 anymore, guys. Just move on. Like. There's so much stuff. And you know how I know there's so much stuff?
That's
shameless,
500 pages.
shameless promotion. But there's so much. I mean, come on, Shaolin Cowboy is still coming out. Come on. Anyway, but yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, and I just kind of wanted to push back against that. So, there you go. That's all that really was.
Rude.
Rude.
Also, I mean, I don't understand what seems to be the problem with, like, if that's not for you,
Yeah.
don't read it. Like,
Yeah,
it's for
yeah.
somebody. Like,
Right.
it is fine to be, not beyond fine, it is great to be as inclusive as possible and to be telling as many stories as we can and casting a wide net to get as many people into comics as we can. If
Right.
you dislike that this story's main character is an LGBT plus character, or it's a woman, or it's this or it's that, don't read it.
Don't read it. Right.
Why you need to get on the internet and trash something that somebody else probably deeply enjoys?
And I think I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's the other part of it too. It's like after a while, it really starts to feel like just because someone else is enjoying it, you don't want them to.
Yeah.
And look, I'll be honest with you. There is an aspect of, like, maybe a few years ago there was an aspect of comics where they were taking away the old toys to replace them with new toys.
Okay.
And they were maybe doing that too much.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, two wrongs don't make it right.
Right.
And again, just so, like, if you don't like Laura as Wolverine, Logan is Wolverine, and the Patch miniseries, he's Wolverine, and this other book over here, he's Wolverine.
Right.
It's not like the character's been completely removed from, like, the annals of, like, comicdom. You know what I mean? So I know I said annals, but anyway.
I was laughing at comic dumb.
Annals.
Annals, sorry. Thank you.
Oh my god.
What you
Anyway.
said is something different entirely.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're absolutely right
That's
about that.
true.
That's true. I guess you're absolutely right about that. Sorry. I was being a little retentive. I apologize. Anyway.
Any whoozleby.
But yeah, I'll get off the soapbox. But that troubled me quite a bit the other day, and so I just wanted to, just like, shut up.
Right. Let us enjoy what we like.
Let people enjoy. Again, there's just so many things out there. You know what I mean? It's just impossible for everything. It's like saying all movies suck. It's like,
Okay.
I was like, okay. I mean, like, and I'll give you maybe like 40% of them do.
Yes.
But how's that different from any other era?
But also, why is that? Why does it seem like that's a specific to, like, the comic book discourse? Like, I never hear it with, like, movies or TV shows or, like, traditional prose books. Like,
Yeah.
it's just never a thing where it's like, every book in Barnes & Noble is the worst garbage ever.
Right.
Like, why?
Well, yeah, I think there is a
Why?
I thought about this too, actually. I think there's a sense of ownership that I don't think is wrong necessarily. Like, I actually think that's one of the great things about comics. There's a sense of ownership that fans have of these properties. Like, you know what I mean? And I mean, let's not forget, they are properties. They don't. The only people that own them are companies. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But you look back at something like, and I don't want to get too much in the weeds about this, but if you look back at something like how Stan Lee engaged with fans during the Marvel age, like during the Silver Age of comics, when, like, it was like, you're part of this club, and we're all part of this club together. And they even had this thing called the Merry Marching Marvel Society and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just like really cutesy stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so there is a sense of ownership that has been ingrained in fans, and I get it, I understand, and that's something that kind of extends even till today to the newer fans. They have a
Right.
sense of ownership of these things, and I get that, and I don't think that we should turn our backs on the older fans or the newer fans. I don't agree with that, because entertainment is entertainment, and everybody should get some sort of escapism, right?
Right.
But again, there's room to share. I guess that's my final point. So
I think so.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know
room to
why
share.
everyone's grumpy.
right, exactly, especially about comic books. Come on, it's okay. Sorry, it's comics.
We have some comments.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Just out here running our mouths.
We are. Right now, Ashton and I are just having a conversation.
DJ Young is saying, just finished Joe Hill's Reign yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Very
Okay,
cool
cool.
book.
Very cool book. Okay.
Annie says, trade weight. I love that.
Oh, you never heard that one before. That's an oldie, actually. We've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
And let's see here. I don't know if I can get all of this comment in here. No. It says basically DJ Young saying, I love that there is so much to pick from today. I would never go into a buffet and claim that there is an item to pick that I didn't like to eat. I would just keep moving my plate.
That's a great
That's
analogy.
an excellent analogy.
Really?
DJ
Yeah.
Young, you win the day. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, that's
like
awesome.
literally, this is the buffet every month. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, yeah, you just kind of move on. Anyway, What else we got going on here? Actually, I think we're going to circle back to Sandman, right?
Are we? Well, I wanted to say this really quick
Yeah.
because we talked about Heartstopper earlier. So I've been reading Alice Oseman's. She did 2 novellas that were originally published as prose, and then
nice.
she re-released them as like partially illustrated.
Oh,
so I've
okay.
been reading those.
Okay, cool.
And they're awesome.
Cool. Same art. Did she? I always forget it. Alice Oseman is also the artist, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she actually draws the interiors as well for the. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Awesome. Ashton's never going to miss an opportunity to shout out Heartstopper. Can't hate
nope.
on it. Can't hate on it at all. All right, so we actually are going to circle back to Sandman real quick because we did a poll.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. So
You went over my head with this poll. That's
okay,
fine.
There you go. This is okay. Whatever. I'll let you do this if you want. You want to do this one?
Have you? Okay, gotcha.
We kind
Yeah, I
of
can do that.
decided this without Ashton.
That's
sorry.
fine. I was sick yesterday, so you got the show must go on and
The
all
show must
that.
go on. There you
I
go.
appreciate it. Okay, so we asked you guys if you've seen Sandman on Netflix yet, and if you have, what you thought of it. And the choices are very cute. Who came up with that? Johnny.
It was actually a little bit of both of us, I think. Was it both of us, Johnny?
Yeah, it was both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was it an absolute dream or an absolute nightmare?
So, I have only watched one episode. I will say this. Watching the first episode, which I literally watched it last night, made me ashamed that I didn't continue the series, reading the trade paperback.
Oh, really?
Like, I had a moment where I was like, man, I probably should have just kept reading this. Because I know it's good.
Is there I wonder if there's like an omnibus or like a larger, fully collected edition.
Actually, a matter of fact, Dynamic Forces has a massive hardcover available now through Previews World that I think is like the first 16 issues, I believe, something like that. Yeah. I don't know if you can find it on there, Johnny, but if you can, Sandman. It's like Sandman from, I think it's from Dynamic, or Graffiti Designs or Dynamic Forces, I think. It's like one of the things I definitely liked about the show was it really did, and I don't think any show's ever done this before, any movie really immediately transported me back to my initial read.
Really?
Because it really was kind of like, I think maybe the only thing that's done is maybe Sin City and 300.
Okay.
Because those are such one-to-one, like, what you saw in the comic is what you're getting on screen. And there's a little bit of that with the Sandman show. And yeah, I like, having not read it I probably read it like maybe a little under 20 years ago. But then watching the TV show and then watching these scenes unfold, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That was interesting. Like, I remember that idea. That was actually, like, there was like little bits that were kind of coming back to me and like really did transport me back to reading that book like years ago. So, worth it. I think it's worth it. Like, I might pick it up
I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah. I think you would like it especially.
Okay.
I think it's right up your alley.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
There you go. Yeah.
I think the overall consensus about this show, filtering out the naysayers, has been that it is to go with the poll here, an absolute dream. So I think I'm going to have to vote for that. Whoa!
Oh, wow.
That's the biggest blowout I think we've ever had.
Damn.
Proving Neil Gaiman's point, by the way.
Literally.
Exactly proving Neil Gaiman's point. 3.3%. So there you go. I'm not saying the majority is always right, but it's worth watching, I'd say. That's
I'm
me
down.
personally. So,
I'm sold.
Yeah, give it a whirl. Give it a whirl.
Come in with my hot takes on however much of it I've gotten through by
Okay.
this time next week.
All right, cool. I'm looking forward to it.
A couple more comments here.
All right, cool.
Let me bring them up here. Here we go. Annie saying, Sandman creeps me out. I get all squirmy with the eyeball munching.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
She also said, it's a nightmare, but I like nightmares.
Okay. See what you did there.
All right, fair enough. What is this week's comic shop shout out, Ashton?
This week's comic shop shout out goes to Fantask in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Uh-oh. There it is.
Okay, comes from Renee, which I've probably pronounced wrong considering he's Danish. How could I not? # support your LCS. Fantastic in the center of Copenhagen. It is still said to be the world's longest living comic book shop. The nicest people who also know what is worth knowing about comics.
Okay. In Copenhagen. All right.
I'm with it. So we'll show you some pictures of the inside of that shop. You can check that out during the credits roll. If you want us to shout out your local comic book shop on the show, find us on social media, tag your shop. If they don't have a handle, just leave their name. And use the # #SupportYourLCS. We'll find your local comic book shop, shout them out on the show, and give them some love.
And here is your reminder, as always, to like, follow, and subscribe, right? On Previews World right now, right? There is an interview with Christopher Priest, which I mentioned for Entropy, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna stop saying right, and you can get a nice idea of what the series is about. Christopher Priest again has a very interesting, unique way of phrasing things, and it's very entertaining to read. And I'm not saying that because I did the interview, because all I do is ask the questions.
Right.
You know what I mean? But his description of things really puts you there.
Oh, that artist.
Yeah, it's cool. Montos is the artist, actually. I should have pointed that out earlier. He's kind of an up and coming artist, but even talking to the people at Heavy Metal, they were like, no, this guy is it. He's legit. You want to see this
That's
play out.
so cool.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's a new type of supervillain, and I just know that Christopher Priest is going to have a lot of fun with the bad guy of an entire universe.
Yeah.
I think that's actually going to be really cool. Also on our website right now, actually a plethora of previous exclusive lunchboxes dropped.
Oh, those lunchboxes have been cool.
Those have
the
been cool.
thermoses.
Right. The Godzilla King of Monsters ones have been cool. I know I'm going to get some calls about this from some of my friends about this, all right? There's an X-Men #1, which is actually really cool. Although I don't know if that second, the thermos is not from X-Men #1. That definitely is artwork from that era, though. And there's also Daredevil, Wolverine, and a handful of others, but also there's 4 different Godzilla ones as well. There's a Ghost Rider too. So yeah, just something to kind of keep an eye out for. Those are available to pre-order right now, and of course, if you're at Previews World, if you have a Previews World pull box account and your store is participating, you can order them directly from our website to your local comic shop, and then they should show up. I think it said in November, right, Johnny? Is that what it said on the website? Maybe.
I lost it.
Okay, that's
Okay,
fine.
perfect.
I think it did say November. But you can go to previewsworld.com, look it up, PX Lunchboxes. That's all you got to type in. They'll all show up on the page, and then you can see for yourself when it comes out, because clearly I don't know.
You can't trust us with anything.
And I guess outside of that, that's bringing us pretty much to the end of the show. Again, you can follow me at Previews World, and that's on Twitter, that's on Facebook, that's on Instagram, that's on Twitch, that's on YouTube, and probably something else I'm forgetting. And you can follow Ashton at
Free Comic Book Day on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and YouTube, and all of this stuff. I'll say it again. We had to relaunch our Facebook page and our Instagram page because we got our feathers ruffled by Meta for some inexplicable reason. So if you were following the Facebook page before, this is a new page, so make sure you follow us again to get all of the info. You can just type in Free Comic Book Day on Facebook. On Instagram, it's going to be free_comic_book_day. That's a little annoying, but I'm hoping as the follower count grows, then you'll be able to just type in Free Comic Book Day and find it easier. But come hang out with me. My favorite part of off-season Free Comic Book Day is general nerd yelling and just shenanigans.
Yeah, actually, that's definitely something and not just for the social swamp, I miss the nerd yelling.
Yeah.
It was always fun to kind of check in and be like, oh, what are we talking about now?
Right.
So, yeah, because the conversation on that page would go in any direction it needed to go at any given time. So, love the comments.
We have one more comment, actually, and it's a good one to go out on.
Okay.
Ubaldo's saying, see you guys next week. Let's go read some comics.
I like that.
I like that.
I like that.
I'm
Thank
with
you,
it.
Ubaldo. Ubaldo's down since day one, I'm going to say. Thank
Ride
you,
or
Ubaldo.
die.
Ride or die. You're like Letty, and we're like Dom.
I do love the Fast and Furious.
Okay.
No argument.
I was just going to let that hang there and see if anybody else caught it. I knew you'd catch it.
Yes.
Anyway, that's it for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood.
And you know what? If this show doesn't go off the rails between the next 5 minutes, we'll see you at the spin rack.
Come on.
Want more Previews World Weekly? Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get notified whenever we go live.